As a single mother raising sons, I have often fought with, blamed, guess just been hard to accept within myself that I did not choose a suitable and strong father for my sons, right? On my face all puffy. I literally just woke up, I jumped in the shower, and my brain went going. So I'm hitting record. But anyway, um, but I've always have just walked around with that guilt of I did not give my sons a stable and suitable father, right? To navigate this world, to instill good things in them, to instill a solid foundation when it comes to how to operate, how to be in this society, how to be a man, right? Now, I'm a very sovereign motherfucker. I always have been, but I had to undo a lot of conditioning. Okay, and when I say sovereign, I mean I don't subscribe to any kind of oppressive constructs. I don't subscribe to religion. I don't subscribe to anything but me. Okay, I follow my own mind. I follow my own spirit. But again, I was raised Pentecostal. I was raised, Christianity and all that bullshit, and I had a lot to unpack. Okay, that shit was oppressive as fuck. I had a lot to undo and unpack to really get to myself, right? Um, so I'm sovereign. And when I say sovereign, I mean I'm free of any of that. I don't need some man made book to lead me. I don't need somebody telling me how to live my life. That's what my soul is for, right? We are having a human experience, right? We are souls having human experiences, right? You are supposed to be able to trust your own soul. Okay, you don't need no other deity. You don't need nothing else telling you what you need to do. Your soul should be able to lead you and tell you and guide you. Okay, but in this 3D, reality, in this realm, okay, there are, it runs a certain way. There are certain rules and ways that humans choose to live. Okay, and they are the ones that made up all of these rules that we are supposed to follow, right, to be considered decent humans and good humans, and humans that stay in line. Ultimately, it's always been about control, right? Anyway, so that being said, even before I got to this level of sovereignty for myself, I've always struggled and felt so bad and blamed myself and carried so much guilt that I did not procreate with a stable man, with a good man for my sons, right? Now, I don't believe in that trope of mothers can't raise decent men, right? I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that, because there's a handful of us women out there that are very strong mentally, emotionally, psychologically, okay? And though we can't give them life from the perspective of a man, which is extremely important, I will not take that away. We can still give them enough of a strong foundation for them to go out and, form their own paths in a way to where they can still be good and decent and solid and stable men. I am one of those. I'm one of those women. I'm one of those mothers. Okay. I don't parent from emotion, right? Okay. And of course, that had a lot to learn and grow in that area too, because naturally, I'm a woman. Naturally, we carry that more chaotic nature, which is not a bad thing. Okay. It just needs to be contained. All right. And of course, I didn't have the proper, upbringing to learn how to manage my own emotions and all that, yada yada. Okay, I didn't have a stable masculine force in my life. Okay, I didn't even have a stable feminine force in my life. Okay, but nothing can break who I am deep down. Nothing could break what I was just born with. Okay, so again, I am one of those few strong women. Okay, and I use that word loosely. Okay, I just use it for the example of this video. I'm one of those women who are stable, right? I'm one of those women who can teach, who can guide, who can go up against that masculine and know how to calm it and tame it, so to speak, right? So I have these sons that I'm raising, right? And I can give them that foundation of, being solid men, right? Again, I'm not a man. I can't give them the game from a man's perspective, and that shit fucks with me. It still does fuck with me. Now I don't carry as much guilt as I used to. It just is what it is. But I really, really yearn for my sons to have men around them that are sovereign to teach them. And the reason that even this came up is because my son recently got something called an ATOS in school. So it's basically like a suspension, but they're allowed to carry out the suspension at another school campus. I just kept his ass home. But it wasn't even really, in my opinion, it was extreme, the discipline that was taken. So basically he has a female friend. She got into it with her boyfriend. The boyfriend's cousin apparently got into it. And he started going all crazy on her, calling her, bitches, hoes, whatever. And my son, walked up on this and was just like, bro, no, you're not talking to her like that. That's uncalled for. My son's very laid back. He's very protective. Okay. So on one hand, I am very proud that he stepped in, to not allow another male to disrespect a female. Right. So he was basically protecting her honor. Right. And then it escalated to the point where they got in trouble for a campus disruption. So they got tossed out of school for 2 days. Okay. I already knew what was going to happen when it came to basketball. He just made the basketball team. And I can already see the type of mindset these men have. Okay. I can tell you right now, they're typical. They come from the typical old school belief of disciplining boys, but fuck their mental health. I can tell you that's kind of where they're coming from. There might be one coach who might be a little bit more in line with the mental health, but that primary coach, I can tell you, okay. But anyway, so I already knew there was going to be consequences in basketball as well, okay. I didn't say anything. Right. So, of course, my son comes home today and he says, yes. He was like, oh, we got consequences. We had to do extra this, that, and the third because we got in trouble in school. Okay. So I have no problem with consequences. I'm big on accountability and consequences for actions. Right. Okay. I have no problem with that. But my problem is, was there even a conversation with my son about what happened? Was there any guidance? Was there any nurturing? Was there any teaching about how he could have better handled the situation? Because he did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. So why was he being disciplined for that action of trying to protect his friend, his female friend, who had some big dude all up in her face calling her whores and all of this shit here? Did a man on that team, one of his coaches, did they have a conversation with him and say, young man, this is how we handle this situation? Did they congratulate him? Did they commend him for trying to protect this young lady? Or was it just, oh, you got in trouble, discipline? I really yearn for sovereign men to be able to nurture my son's journey. I yearn for that so badly. I yearn for sovereign men who can guide my son, okay? I don't trust religious men. Look at the long line in history of the actions of religious men. I don't trust men who cannot think for themselves. I don't trust men who need something or somebody else to tell them how to move. I don't trust men who can't see beyond what the fuck goes on in this society. I don't need men who just fall in line. I don't need men who just say, oh, the Lord will work it out. I need sovereign men for my sons. I struggle with that.